Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liaoming, homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Tupten Dorshi. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening. Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva with the great wow. Sunu, Benson Katro, Tupten Siddhi, Tupten Kama. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Scoin. Ichiwa. Kimochi. Chumi. Yapi. Puri. Komawa.
Just now, the grand ceremony just passed. And around the ceremony, the weather was very cold. And just as the ceremony passed by, just the time when I completed my book number 305. I just completed the book just right after the ceremony, about 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The title is Freezing Point in Seattle. It was really cold. So I thought about, no wonder Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva he's the patriarch or the savior of the netherworld and abide amidst the 3 lower realms. Of course, in the 6 realms, they are Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva. But we address him as the savior of the netherworld, which is the chief of the 3 lower realms. In hells, thinking about it, there are the 8 freezing hells and 8 scourging hells. It's either very cold or very hot. So the cold during below freezing, every time I stayed out giving blessings on the head, and the 2 hands were freezing, and the bald head, it felt like ice on the head. If you have hair, it's a bit better. But if you have no hair, you can feel that Grandmaster's hand was freezing.
在法会期间
Actually, during ceremonies, every time I give the blessing on the head outside, it was very cold. Not just my hands, but those waiting outside also it's also very cold.
还有些人因为地上结冰，
because their eyes on the
他
ground
们会滑倒，
and some slipped
可能会滑倒。
and fell.
这个天寒地冻，冷，
So it was cold and freezing
说
and was very uncomfortable
尤其很多弟子是东南亚来，
because many disciples came from Southeast Asia
只有2季，
where they only have 2
一
seasons.
个是更热。
One is hot and one is hotter.
来到西雅图，
And they come to Seattle and it's freezing.
穿衣服都单单去那个，
And
他
where
们不知道穿了几件，
I'm not sure how many layers of clothing they've
上身
worn
穿了几件，下身穿
on
了几
top
件，
and how many for the lower part and how
每
many
一
for
个
the
都
upper
变成
part.
粽子，
Every one of them looks like a dumpling,
还是冷。
a wrapped dumpling, and still felt cold.
所以地藏王菩萨， 这个在第一道里面，
So Siddhikapa Bodhisattva in hells,
8日
where there are 8 freezing hells and 8 scorching hells. So just thinking about it, that must have been a tremendous suffering. If it's cold, it's really cold. It's hot, really hot. And you need to stay in such
那
places.
有民众当然都很想离开。
Of course, the spirits would want to
个人这
leave
几天呢，有想
that
法，
place. So this few days, I had this idea.
应该搬到
We should move
四季如春的地方，
to a place where it's like spring all year round. Where? Taiwan.
新加坡好像太热了一点。
Singapore is a bit too hot.
而且年纪这么大，想到搬家
And my age is quite high.
不太可能。
I'm quite old and thinking about moving is rather
你们
impossible.
暂时呢，飞到一个地方去，
Just to fly
躲过
for a period of time to
大概躲个
skip the cold winter for about 2 to 3 months.
那倒有可能。你说搬家实在
That would be
很辛苦。
rather likely, but moving home would be quite a hardship. 我们考虑过到夏威夷， We've considered to go to Hawaii.
天气都是温和，
The weather is very comfortable with cool breeze. The ocean breeze is cooling
这样。
and not cold.
当初啊，有一回我去夏威夷，
Back then, one time I went to Hawaii.
有一位师姐，
there was a Dharma sister
她买下夏威夷塔瓦
who wanted to buy
有2个房间，一个客厅的
a
一个小地方，
small
那时候才
place with
40万
a 2-bedroom
夏威夷塔瓦
and 1 living room apartment for $400,000 at the Hawaii Tower for us to live
但是一进去
there.
里面
But as soon as we got in,
同道同门，
we met another disciple
是 Chicago 的同门，
from
芝加哥的
Chicago
叫莲花笑秋，
called Lianhua Xiaoqiu, and she bought the place there too at the Hawaii Tower for over
刚
$700,000,
好请我去看风水，
and then asked me to check on her feng shui.
看了莲花笑秋的风水，
So I checked on her feng shui,
照
and
样
I
没
was
有办法
thinking, if I buy this place, then I have no
想这个念
privacy.
头
So I let go
当初其实
of the idea. If we have bought it, it would have been good. It was an offering by a disciple.
我是由夏威夷飞大溪地，
I flew through Hawaii to Tahiti,
在夏威夷再飞回美国，
and then back to Hawaii, back to America, and then from America to Taiwan.
隐居那一段
That's
时间就是这样子飞的。
That's when I was in retreat, in the living in seclusion back then.
也住了一阵子，觉得大
We
溪地
went to
不是很好，
Tahiti and lived there for a while, and I found Tahiti was quite good.
那里的天气都不错，大溪地，
The temperature was nice, and Hawaii too.
另外也考虑到一个地方，就是圣地亚哥。
And I have considered San Diego as well.
本来是要到加州，但是
I was
加州
thinking
我一
about
看
California, but with the wildfire,
结果想到圣地亚哥，
so I've thought of San Diego.
圣地亚哥还不错，圣地亚哥跟这个夏威夷
That's not bad. So San Diego and Hawaii are 2 good
另外
places.
有一个地方是萨摩亚，
And there's another place called American Samoa.
那距离美国
That's American,
距离美国
and that's a further distance from
第一
America.
个考虑到身份的问题，
And first, it's about our
住的地方
residency because we hold U.S. passport.
才好。
So it's better to stay at the American
现在
places.
想到自己的年纪，
But now, thinking about our own age,
搬家也是很困难。
I found it would be difficult to move home. Many problems.
师母请这个看护，
And
也不是
Simu
很容易的事情。
hiring a caretaker is also not an easy
要找到
matter.
好的看护，
To find a good
又能够照顾
caretaker,
她，
the one
而且
that
24
can
小时。
take care of her 24 hours a day.
现在有点觉得寸步难行。
Now I find it quite
所以
difficult
人生
to
啊，有
move
时候是
on.
这样子的。
So human life sometimes is like
当
this.
初如果在
Think
台湾
about it. Back
没有
then,
移到美国来，
if you stayed in Taiwan without moving to America,
移到
what
美
would it
国来
be
是
like?
什么样？
And then moving to America, what it's like?
就有点都是命运了。
It's all
这个都是
destiny.
命运。 因为很多东南亚的弟子要到美国来，
because
签证也不是很容易的事，
many Southeast Asian disciples wanting to come to America
困难，
also
而且要
have
飞
difficulty obtaining visas and they have to fly a long distance,
来一趟也不容易，
a little bit longer and not easy for them to come, and it's also quite
台湾是
expensive.
很好，
Taiwan is good,
但
it's
就是点点点，
very good, but dot dot dot.
也是点点点，
Also, just dot dot dot. It's unspeakable. I can't really
我觉得
put
现
it
在
into
最好
words.
应该是香港最好，
Now I find that maybe the best place is Hong Kong. Hong Kong should be the best place.
就是回归到中国倒是很好，
Returning to
中国有几个
China is a
城市
good thing.
都是很好，
There are several cities in China that are
不过
good
中国也是蛮冷的，
places, but China is also cold. Some part.
回到中国去，
Returning to China.
现在就看，就香港也是不错，
But Hong Kong is
Oh,
not bad
Shanghai.
either. Hong Kong is quite good.
香港有台风，
There's typhoon in Hong Kong,
香港也有台风，台湾也一样有台风，
and Taiwan too has typhoon. The
深
same.
圳有台风吗？
Does Shenzhen have
有
typhoon?
啊，
Yes.
我干脆到这个地藏王菩萨，
I might as well go to
四大菩萨
Siddhigarbha
地藏王菩萨大安徽去啊，
Bodhisattva's
到安
a
徽去，
mountain to Anhui province,
哎，
Mount Jiuhua.
安徽，在安徽有
Anhui
一个
at in the Anhui province, there was a
这个
long lost friend.
安徽的北方
In the northern part of Anhui
叫
called
往北吧，是吗？
Wangbei. Was it?
安徽的这个代字是皖吗？对不对？
The symbol word for Anhui. So the northern part of Anhui go to Mount Jiuhua. Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva would like it most.
愿力本尊，
He is the yidam of my vows.
啊，你们那个弟子帮我想想办法。
So let that disciple find a way for me. I'll go to Anhui.
我到安徽，我要去皖北，
I want to go to northern Anhui, Wanbei.
九华山
Mount Jiuhua is the place that I long for, because I long for Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva,
他是我的愿力本尊啊，
because he's the yidam of my vows.
瑶池金母的
And Golden Mother's
要去
peak
满昆仑，
of Mount Kunlun would be very difficult to reach, right?
阿弥陀佛的西方净土，
And Amitabha Buddha's Western Pure Land, Sukhavati, of course, that's my
但
original,
是那也是
my
等
origin.
我肉身走了以后，
But
才
that's
能够过去。
after I discard my physical
地藏王菩
body
萨
before I can go
不
there.
一样，
But Mount Jiuhua of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, I can go with my physical body.
那还是地藏王菩萨
So,
比较好。
so Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva's Anhui would be better.
里面有办法了，帮我想一想。
So if you have ways, think about it.
这个
Find ways for me.
Go to River of Star 啊，回归星河之前，
Before returning to the River of Stars, if I can visit Mount Jiuhua in Anhui, is one of my wishes.
那里有地藏王菩萨，
There is Siddhikapa Bodhisattva
是
there.
我的本尊的九大名山、四大名山。
It's one of the 4 major Buddhist mountains. Siddhikapa Bodhisattva's spiritual center there. You should go there.
那是我的本尊。
That's my yidam.
我所怀念的地方。
Places I am nostalgic about.
不要讲的那么严肃。
Now let's not be so serious. Let me share some jokes.
第一次到你朋友家去拜访。
The first time I visited my girlfriend's home, Xiaoming was chatting with the girlfriend's dad, and then her mom brought a plate that looked like braised meatballs, and said, "Dong Dong, come and eat." And the girlfriend and her dad did not, just completely ignored it. So I was thinking, I have to show some respect and appreciation to the future mother-in-law. So I took one and put it in my mouth. And then I found out that it turned out that Tong Tong, the name was the name of the dog.
小明啊，你都30岁了，还不结婚，以后怎么办？
Xiaoming, you're already 30 and you're not married.
小明回答
How can you live? How is your future? And Xiaoming told the dad, I don't want to get married. I feel upset every time I see women. And the dad said, do you feel upset seeing your mom too?
难道你不觉得烦吗？
Don't you feel that way?
小明爸爸讲说，
And the dad
真
said,
的也是。
I guess so.
我今天如果是一个人，
If I'm single now,
可以走东，走西，走南。
I can go to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south.
人生就是这样子，
That's how
每
life
次都
is.
是自己去找麻烦来。
Every time we try to find
有时候
we
找来是麻烦，
creating our own problems. Although we know it's problematic, but we still create the problem again.
老公问老婆，
The husband asked the wife,
床底的皮鞋，老婆
where are my shoes under the
床皮鞋
bed?
太旧了，
And the wife said, those are really old shoes. I threw them out.
扔在哪里呀？
And the
旧的还
husband
能
was
够穿啊，
really
能省就省，
panicky.
日子
Hey,
长
where did you
越
throw
越
them?
好
You know, although they're old, but we should save money. Let me
鞋
pick
子里
them
面的
back.
钱我都拿出
Oh,
来
no
了。
need, no need. I have took out all the money from inside them.
这个两个朋友在对话，对，
Two friends are having a dialogue. Hey,
最近你
brother.
的婚姻感情怎么样？
It's a long time no see. How is your
他
marriage
的朋友回答，没什么问题，
marriage life? And
只
the
是换了几个
husband said, the friend said, no problem. I just changed a few mother-in-laws.
兄弟啊，你真是神人，
Wow,
佩服啊！
you're God, admirable.
对方回答：是
And
我的
then he
岳父
said,
厉害。
no, it's my father-in-law who's incredible.
好了，我们进入主题啊。
Now we'll get to the main
新
subject.
加坡的莲花瑞叶，
Question from Singapore.
尊敬的
Lianhua
师
Rui
尊，
Yi.
感谢你的教导，
Respected Grandmaster,
祝
thank
福
you
你
for your
身体健康。
teachings. I wish you
在
good
师宗
health.
文集第296字
In Grandmaster's
送你一花
296 book,
的虚
A Flower for
的
You, in an
痛
article,
哭。一文中你提到
The
虚云老
Grief
和
of
尚在
Xu
定中
Yun,
还看见佛教的万字
you
顺
mention
时钟转，
that in his
变成
meditation,
这个
Master
逆
Xu
时
Yun
钟
in
转。
the meditation saw the
不
Buddhist
但如此，
swastika
还
symbol
斜斜的挂，
rotating
后
clockwise
来才知道
change
是
into
德国
rotating
希特勒
counterclockwise.
的纳粹备战。
And not only that, it was
这
hanging at
些
an
虚
angle.
云
Later
都
he
能够看见。
realized it was the Nazi
弟子发现佛像上的万
Hitler's
字符号
armband.
多是
Xu
正
Yun was
挂
able
在
to
逆
foresee
时
these
钟
things.
方
I
向。
have noticed that the swastika symbol
请
on
问
most Buddha
顺时
statues
钟
is
的
upright but rotates
万字才是
counterclockwise.
正确吗？
Should
还
the
是逆
correct
时钟
direction should be
但
clockwise
正挂的
or
万字也
upright
可以？
but
在观想
counterclockwise?
阿弥陀佛时，如果观想心
Are
中
they
的万字
acceptable?
符号，
When
该使
visualizing
用哪个
Amitabha
方向
Buddha,
较为
if we
合适？
imagine the swastika symbol within the heart, which
这个密
direction
教
should
里
be
面
more appropriate?
早就讲过了，
In
我们都是
Tantric
顺时钟。
Buddhism, I have talked about this long ago, since
你
long
绕
ago.
佛，
Everything is clockwise.
你在绕佛的时
When
候，
you are
要顺时钟转。
circumambulating, it should be
转山、
clockwise.
转水，你绕福、绕圣福也是顺时
If
钟
you
绕。
are circumambulating the mountain or
也是
along
顺
the
时钟
lake,
绕。
always
你在绕
clockwise.
佛也是顺
Or
时钟绕。
circumambulating the Buddha,
然后呢，
also clockwise.
你在那个转这个转经轮的时候，也
Or
是一样用顺时
the
钟，
mantra wheel should
也
also
是要
be
顺时钟这样子
clockwise.
转，一定要顺时钟这
It
样
has
子
to
转，
be
别人
clockwise.
转都是顺时钟，
They always
你绕错了，
do them
你逆
clockwise.
时钟转，
If you do it wrongly,
一般来
going
讲是这样，
counterclockwise, then
所谓
generally
正
speaking,
教就是顺时钟
is
转，
that the right teachings always
正的都是顺
clockwise,
时钟转，逆的那是属于旁
and
门
counterclockwise
逆时钟转。
means it's
所以以
the
前那个
deviant
在
teachings.
西藏顺时钟
So
转的
in the
是万
past
字，
in Tibetan,
是
the
密
swastika
教顺时钟，红黄白花都是顺时钟
in
转。
Tibetan or
只有
in
本佛
Tantric
教
Buddhism
是逆时
is
钟，
all clockwise, but for Bonpo tradition, the Bon tradition is counterclockwise.
本教是逆时钟转。
For the
我们
Bon,
学佛的人都知道要顺时
counterclockwise.
钟转，
But all
都是
Buddhists
逆
would
时钟转。
know that everything should go
逆时钟转
clockwise,
属于旁门。
because the counterclockwise means it's a
回答
deviant
新加坡莲
teaching.
花瑞叶，
The answer to Lianhua Rui from Singapore. It's a simple question,
对不对？
right?
只要顺时钟，
It should be clockwise.
只有一幅是他们绣错了，变成逆时钟。
There was an image that was wrong, and it became counterclockwise, and someone saw that.
纳粹是它是逆时钟，但是它又有点斜。
The Nazis,
希
it's
特勒的那个臂章，
clockwise, but not upright.
这个老公呢去参加的大学同学会，
the husband attended the college reunion and got home. And the wife asked the husband, "So, any changes to the school, the beauty?" And then the husband replied, "Oh, she's exactly the same as she was in college before." And the wife said, "You haven't met her for over 20 years and she hasn't changed at all? Did she have plastic surgery?" And the husband just gazed at her and said, "What I was saying, that she ignored me in college and now she's still ignoring me."
10年的笑话。这个我的一个朋友的脚非常的丑。
My friend's feet are very stinky, and one day he was bitten by the poisonous snake, and the snake had to be. It took hours to save the snake because the sting was really bad.
这个小蛇10年的笑话。
These are jokes about the year of the snake. The little snake told the dad, "Are we poisonous?" And the big snake said, "Yes, we do." And the little snake told the dad, "Oh no, take me to the emergency because I just bit my own tongue." Jokes about the year of the snake. Now I will expound on the Vimalakirti Sutra. Maitreya Bodhisattva, upon hearing this, hearing what Sakyamuni Buddha said, then he addressed Sakyamuni Buddha, saying, "World Honored One, this is truly unprecedented. I have never heard of this kind of profound and sublime and transcendental ultimate teaching. Just as Sakyamuni have said, I shall distance myself from such faults and uphold the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi Dharma that the Tathagata has accumulated over countless Ashamkya kalpas." Maitreya Bodhisattva said that he's not an ordinary Bodhisattva. He would, like the beginners Bodhisattvas, Bodhisattvas who just started studying Buddhism did not or do not understand the ultimate Dharma, like to feel hurt or harm. They should not have such minds. But instead should uphold the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi Dharma that the Tathagata had accumulated over a countless Ashamkya kalpas. Maitreya Bodhisattva said that I should recite, read, uphold such an ultimate sutra. Accept, recite, and spread such Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi Dharma. I should not be thinking like the beginners Bodhisattvas. In future generations, for virtuous men and women who seek the Mahayana path,
在将来的世界，如果有男子女人
In the
他们是
future
追求
world, if
大
there
乘
are
佛法的，
good men and
就让
women
他们得
who
到
seek
这样的
the
经典，就像维摩诘
Buddha Dharma of the greater vehicle,
这个经典
they
才是
should
属于
obtain
了义
such
的经典
sutras like Vimalakirti Sutra
啊，一
that
般的经
belongs
典
to the
所有的经典
transcendental ultimate
很多是
sutras.
不属于了义，
Many
了义的经典
sutras
不
are
属于了
not
义的经典，
the ultimate. They
也
are
就是说，了义
ultimate
的经
sutras
典
and
不能
non-ultimate
够
sutras.
得到真正的解。
So ultimate
了义的
sutras
经典
can let
人
you
呢是
attain
在
true
世界
liberation. Non-ultimate sutras
啊，就是讲
talk
一
about
般的教戒而已。
just the general teachings of the world.
大圣的经典是比较了
So
义，
Mahayana
小
sutras
圣
are
的经典
rather
是比较不了义的。
closer
还有
to the
还有这样
ultimate,
这
and
这样
the
的讲
Hinayana sutras
小圣
are more non-ultimate. That's such a way of
那
describing.
密教是属于大圣，
And
密教是属于大
Tantrayana
圣，
belongs to Mahayana.
要让
It's
未来世
considered as
的
part of Mahayana.
男子女人，他们求大
So
乘佛法的，
men
能
and
够
women
有这样子
in the future
了
who
义的
seek
经典，
Mahayana path can
以
obtain
其以念力
such ultimate
使
sutras
受持
and
读诵
grant
为
them the
他
power of
广说，
mindfulness, enabling them to
以其以
uphold,
念力
recite, and
意思就是
expand them
说，
widely for the
他会
benefit of
永远
others.
的护持这一种大
So
圣
they
的
will forever support such
让
Buddha
这
Dharma
个
of the greater vehicle.
未来世的善男子善女人
So
能
the
够受
future
持
good
读
men
诵
and
为
women
他广诵，
can
就
accept,
讲
recite,
解这个大
expound
圣的佛法给他们听。
this Mahayana sutras
好，
for
他跟释
others.
迦牟尼佛讲，释迦牟尼佛啊，
And then he
若
continued
未
telling
来世
Sakyamuni Buddha,
有能受持读诵为他说者，在未来的
Lord Honored
未来世末
in
世
the
的苦难，
future
如果
era of the
有人
degenerate
能够受
Dharma,
持读
if
诵
there are
大圣的
people
经
who
典，
can
而
uphold,
且
recite,
广大弘扬，
and teach
当知这
this
是
Mahayana
您的
Sutra
圣
to
力所
others,
建立，
know that it is due to
应该
Maitreya
是
who
用
established
弥
it
勒
with
菩
his
萨的
divine
神力
power.
去加持，
So
令他们
it
都
should
能
be
够
Maitreya
接受大
Bodhisattvas,
圣的
my divine power, to bless them so that they can accept
站在
the
上面
Mahayana
弥勒
Sutras. Then Sakyamuni Buddha said,
很好，很
excellent,
好，
excellent Maitreya.
弥勒菩萨，如你所说，
Maitreya
就跟
Bodhisattva,
你讲的一样，
as what you have said,
佛助而喜，一世一
the
切菩
Buddha
萨
rejoiced
得
in
赞。
assisting you.
释迦牟尼佛很欢喜的
So Sakyamuni Buddha
让你去建立这样子，
was
所有一切的菩萨
very pleased to let you establish that. So at that moment, all the bodhisattvas joined their palms together and told the Buddha,
十方国土
after the
广现
Tathagata's parinirvana,
阿耨多
we
罗三
too
藐
shall widely proclaim and disseminate the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi Dharma
说法者，
throughout all lands in the 10 directions. We will guide those who teach the Dharma, enabling them to obtain the
跟
sutra.
释迦牟尼佛讲，
So all the
也
bodhisattvas
是一样，
present
如来
joined
灭
their
后，
palms
十
and told
方
Sakyamuni
国土
Buddha,
广
all the
现
same,
拥护，
after the
也就是说，
Tathagata's
他们也一
parinirvana,
样要跟弥勒菩萨一样，
they want to be just like
要在
Maitreya
十方的国
Bodhisattva
土广大的地方去宣
throughout
传
all
阿耨
lands
多
in the
罗
10
三藐三菩提
directions
法，就
to
无上正
widely
等正觉，
disseminate the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi Dharma,
不当
which is the
开导诸
unexcelled
佛法，
perfect enlightenment, the ultimate Dharma.
也要 开导所有的众
We
生
will also guide
都能
all
够
those
得到
sentient
像维
beings
摩诘经这样子的经典，
so they can obtain
这一段的
sutras like the Vimalakirti Sutra. That's this
那个
passage.
要不要把它讲完？
Should I finish it?
要讲完是很简单，
It's very easy
因为就是交代释迦牟尼佛交代弥勒菩萨
so it's
完
entrustment.
成这些事情。
Sakyamuni Buddha instructed Maitreya Bodhisattva to
再讲一段好。
to do this
儿时四
to do
天
this
王
work.
拜佛言，这个时候啊，四大天王，
Then the four heavenly kings addressed the Buddha.
四大天王
The four heavenly kings
就
were
是
there
在西
too.
尼山这世界的地区天的
Mount
四
Sumeru
个方向，东南西北，
in the four directions, north, south, east, and west.
都闻天
And
王
like Drashtarashtra, Vaishravana,
你看持国天王
Virudaka,
四
Virupaksa,
天王，
the four heavenly kings.
四天王天，
And the
距离
four
人最近的
heavenly
地方就是四天王
kings'
天，
heavens,
但是他们那边
those
也
are
是
closest
世界
to the human world, but they belong to the heavenly realm
有
of
很多
desire.
眷属，
And they
他
also
们四个
have a
天王
huge
就跟释迦
retinues.
牟尼佛讲，
So the four heavenly
释迦牟尼佛
kings told Sakyamuni
在
Buddha,
在处处诚意聚落
Lord
善
Honored One,
有
whether in
事经
cities,
见不
towns,
受见说，
villages, mountains,
我当
forests, or
率诸
wilderness,
官属为听法，故王子其所有
wherever
其
there
人
is someone who reads, recites, or
面
explains the
百
sutra,
由是，令
we
无
shall
所
lead our
不变。
retinues to those places to
他的意
listen
思
to
是
the
这样子，
Dharma and protect those
释
who
迦牟尼
uphold
佛
it. We shall guard the area
不
within
管在
100
哪个地方，
yojanas, ensuring no
在
harm
城
comes
市
to
也
them.
好，在村落也
So
好，
Sakyamuni
在山
Buddha,
林也好，
at
在
whatever
旷野也好，
place, whether
如果有这个
in
经典，
cities or
有
towns,
人在
villages,
读
mountains,
这个经典，
forests,
在
wilderness,
诵这个经典，
if there's someone who
在
reads,
弘扬这个经典，
recites, explains, or
我四天
disseminates
王
the sutra,
就率所有的眷属
we, the four
去
heavenly
听，
kings, will
去听，
lead our
去听
retinues
这个
to those places to
听这
listen
个
to the
人讲经，
Dharma, to the
不
Dharma
枉
teaching of
其
this
子，
person,
拥护
and
拥护
protect
其人。
and
四天
support
王
this person.
会来保护
So the four
这个
heavenly
说法的
kings
人，
will
更听话，
protect the one who
面百由
teaches
信，
and who listens to
由
the
信
Dharma.
就是一个单位， 差不
Yojana
多
is a measurement
2000公里。
of about 2,000
这个人在说法
kilometers.
的周围的2000公里，
So an area
四天王都有在那边说，
2,000 kilometers around this area, around the
让
person
所有
who
的这些
teaches Dharma.
外面的魔啊，
So the
不能够
demons and ghosts from outside will not
好
be
的干
able
扰这些
to
修行人。
disturb these spiritual
但是呢，
cultivators, practitioners.
面百由信，
Do you
令无
understand?
事，没有机会，那些魔没有机会
So those demons would have no chances
去
to
骚扰那些人，
disturb
他们
or
设下了决定，
bother
在
those
这个范围
people.
之内，
So they
有
set
人在说
the
这个表意
protection
经的话，
boundary
讲维
within
摩诘
that
经的话，
area
周
of a
围之
person
间
expounding
四天王
on
在守
ultimate
护，
sutras or
四天王
Vimalakirti
发
Sutra.
愿要守护这样子的
The four heavenly kings
了解经
vowed
典
to protect
跟听法，
the
他的意思是这样子讲。
the teaching, the dissemination of the ultimate
再讲下
sutras
去
and
就讲完
those
了，
who listen to the sutras.
还
If I
没讲到
continue, that will be the end.
是时佛告阿难，这个时
At
候
that
啊，释
time,
迦
the
牟尼佛告
Buddha
诉阿难，
told Ananda,
受持是经，广宣流布，
You must uphold the sutra and widely proclaim it. So the Buddha turned his head and told Ananda to uphold the sutra, the ultimate sutra, and to widely proclaim it, to disseminate it, this kind of sutras. And Ananda replied, of course, I have already received and retain its essential teachings, Lord Honored One. Of course, I would uphold such ultimate sutras. So Sakyamuni Buddha, what should this sutra be named? And Sakyamuni Buddha said, Ananda, this sutra shall be called the sutra as spoken by Vimalakirti, or the teachings of Vimalakirti. The teachings of Vimalakirti, the sutra as spoken by Vimalakirti, also named the inconceivable liberation Dharma gate. So the true Dharma gate of true liberation, the inconceivable liberation Dharma gate, that's the name of the sutra, and thus should it be upheld. After the Buddha had spoken this sutra, the elder Vimalakirti, Manjushri, Sariputra, Ananda, and all the devas, the humans, asuras, and the great assembly rejoiced greatly upon hearing the Buddha's words. So after Sakyamuni Buddha completed the sutra, the elder Vimalakirti, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Sariputra, the Venerable Sariputra, Ananda, Venerable Ananda, and all the heavenly beings, asuras, humans, and all the great assembly rejoice greatly upon hearing the Buddha's words. And that completes it. That completed it. So I finished it in a short time. How long have I spoken? Have I expounded on the Vimalakirti Sutra? Starting 2022, May 21st.
最近也有一个感觉，
Recently, I have this feeling that everything is just following the affinities and going with the flow. Going with Sakyamuni Buddha's Buddha Dharma and going with the flow of sentient beings and performing my duties. And every day we have to perform what we should do every day. So the homework for today should be done today. You don't want to procrastinate. We have to complete whatever work we have to do today. So that's following affinities, following others, and then following our roles and duties. following affinities, following others, fulfilling the wishes of others, and then following our duties and roles. That's most important because I have to complete whatever work I have to do today. It should not be left for the next day. You should do whatever you're supposed to do, and you should rest when you should rest. And following sentient beings, the wishes of sentient beings, that's what I'm doing. Otherwise, why would I work so hard every day? Other people have retired. What is the retirement age? 65. Retirement at 65. In Taiwan, I am 81. But in US, I am 80. That's long after retirement age. Then I don't have to do all this, but I'm still doing them. I still read the letters. I still paint whatever I'm supposed to paint. I still practice. The articles that I'm supposed to write, I still write. I never rest. And following affinities, so don't find it strange, because I just follow the affinities. Some have a better affinity and some less, so please don't feel disturbed. So, because time is limited, I am limited, although the Dharma bodies can help, but they say, well, they're not tangible. They can't see them. Some can, and some can sense my Dharma bodies, can feel them. The Dharma bodies can help. But the true body is only one, and I have not enough time. So in giving consultation nowadays, you have to be fast. One person for 1 or 2 minutes. But outside a grand ceremony period, there are not that many people, so you can ask a little bit more. But around grand ceremonies, there are too many people lining up, not enough time, so please forgive me. I cannot explain very clearly because I cannot cover them all. And then it's also difficult to take care of all the requests. So sometimes he's quite annoyed. If letting them all in, it's impossible to finish. But if not, it's also difficult because it's cold outside. And sometimes they're let in, but still there's not possible to give the consultation. So please forgive us. Because there's just not enough time. I just cannot handle them all by myself. If I can clone myself, several physical bodies, that would be good. Of course, the Dhamma bodies are split bodies,
看到我法身的举手。
but they said that they're not so realistic. If you can see Dhamma bodies, please raise your hands. Many of them, and usually they say something. Now nobody raised their hands, and sometimes, normally you would talk about it. Li Hai An, Li Qing can see.
你们这里也有，对，那边也有，也有同门都可以看得见。
There are disciples who can see, who can feel the Dhamma bodies, even more.
感应到了，虽然没有看到法身，
Although they don't see the Dhamma bodies, they know
这个也有很多，
many.
已经这样子了，实在是没有办法。
It's already maxed out.
已
Yes.
经尽力，
I've tried my best. I've done my best.
我真正的身
And this true body has age too. Signs of age too.
自己的体力也
So
像年轻的时候。
the energy is not like when I was young.
什么时候来英国？ 法国人讲说，世尊什么时候来？
Those from England ask, Grandmaster, when are you coming to England? And those from France, when are you coming to France? And then from Holland, and South Asia, even more. How come you haven't been here for a long time?
为什么那么久，2年多没有回台湾呢？
How come you haven't been back to Taiwan for over 2 years?
其实我是可以，还是可以飞的。
I can still fly,
师母
but
还要人
Sumo,
家照顾，
she needs someone to take care of her.
这困难的地方。你们
So
能够牵
that's
得动
how
师母
difficult
的
it
话，
is.
我就能够动。
If you can move Sumo, then I can go.
像台湾雷藏寺，
Like the Taiwan Lizang Temple
台湾
kept saying, Grandmaster, come back to Taiwan Lizang
我
Temple.
只要一去就是万人。
Of course, if I go there every Saturday, there would be tens of thousands of attendees every Saturday. But Sumo cannot go back.
那我
She
我就
cannot
牵挂，她动不了，
go.
她随时
So,
她会，我一不在，她就
so
跌倒。
I am concerned about her because when I'm not around, she would fall.
还要我那
And
还要帮她加持啊。
like the other day, I had to bless her, give her
那
blessings.
天不是参加那上师会议吗？
The other day, I attended the master's meeting
踩雷而已。
only to the Rainbow Temple, and she fell at home
叫她
already.
跟我去，她也不愿。
I asked her to go with me
回到这个
to
密院来，
Rainbow Temple, and she fell.
就在
And
家
I asked her to wait for me at the temple quarters, and she didn't go. She was at home, and she
辅导
fell.
还好，加持了以后，
But
什么痛都
it's
没有。
fine. After blessings, she didn't have any pain at all.
你回去给她加持啊。
So I went home to give her
那个
blessings,
厨房的这个一个门，
and the
弄
door
到整个
at the
都垮下
kitchen,
来，都门都倒了哎。
that the door fell
叫那个
off.
叫谁去修啊？
And she,
赖师兄，
that my brother Lai to fix it.
把那个门都整个都断掉哎。
So the door broke,
哦，我回
the
去
whole
给她加
door.
持了以后，
And I went
竟然
home to
可能
bless her,
头是弯的，
and the bone
一
was
撞
crooked.
头变成正的。
And after she hit, I guess the door,
叫
that
父母叫她撞一下，
the bone was straightened up.
骨头就变正。
So maybe Medicine King Tara wanted her to bump into that and then straighten
这
up.
边乌青，
but no pain at all, even though she had bruises on her half body. But there was no pain. That was strange. So it's a kind of miracle too. And she's old too, 4 years younger than I am. I'm 81, and she's 4 years younger. So 70 is also old. We are all aging. So I told Golden Mother, now I've walked to this point in my human life. I have thought about how I should leave the world and how she would leave the world, how I would leave the world. I came across this thought. So, for a human, old age and illnesses are connected. So when you're old, you will be sick. When you're sick, you will become old. You would age. So Sakyamuni Buddha also said that one day he also would leave the Saha world. The same with me. I would leave the Saha world. And it's not that long. Not that long. Shouldn't be that long. Recently, there are a few people who let me feel like the author Chong Yao. The way she left, I felt it a little unbearable because that way of leaving the world is not that good. But she had no choice when she reached that point. There was no other choice for her. And if you die like the Big S, that's a celebrity in Taiwan. She caught flu. And became pneumonia. And within a few days, she died. That's good too. That's what I want. Just get a certain illness and then die within a few days. That's what I like most. Otherwise, you want to attain the Buddhahood in this body or to transform into rainbow light, then I have to find a way to push out the apex, to push the life chi through the apex opening. That's even better. That's in charge of your own life and death. So there's two choices. Otherwise, let's just walk underneath the Mitsukoshi. I didn't even think about it. You didn't even think about death, and then you died already. The Mitsukoshi in Taichung. Yeah, Mitsukoshi department store in Taichung. And my home is in Taichung. And then just across from Mitsukoshi. And just a few blocks, a few turns from my home to Mitsukoshi. 2 turns. From the front door to the opera center. And
金
then
光三叶。
just one turn, that would be Mitsukoshi
那个时
already.
候啊，这样走过去，哎，
So,
蛮好的啊。
and if you walk
他都
past
要
it at
那
such
个
a
他都
time,
要
that
付
would
我
be good.
1100万啊。
Mm.
他付给我
And
1100
they
万，
would reimburse
而且走的时
$10
候啊，
million.
还
They
很悠
had like
闲，
an explosion or
走在
something
路上，
happening there.
咚，
And you were strolling underneath, and all of a sudden,
连
boom,
死都没有想到他已经
and
死
you
了。
didn't even think about death, and you die already.
这也是很好。
That would be good
小 S
too.
的死，
The death of the
还有
small s, no, big
我
s,
在 Mitsukoshi 底下走路这样死，
strolling under
那第三种
Mitsukoshi.
就是自主生死，
And the third kind is to be in charge of your own death.
我都很欣赏。
I like these three kinds of ways of dying.
你连想都没有想到他已经死了，
And before you even think about it, you died already.
痛苦一下子而已，
The suffering is momentary,
就是几秒钟、几分钟
only a few seconds or few
就
minutes,
解脱了，
and you're
不
free.
然就是自主生死，
Else,
不然就是
you're in charge.
流感几天
You're
这样死掉，
in charge of your own death, or
就是想
just
到死后
catching flu for a few
都要这样
days.
子
So I've been thinking about dying these few days recently.
说不可以，
It shouldn't be like
不
Chongyao,
可以
because the Buddha
断
said
自己的生死。
you cannot end your own life.
不过我们也是很同情他，
But we are
因为
sympathetic toward her
人生没有
because
什么味道，
her
很
life
无趣。
became meaningless.
总有一天，大家也会走到这样子，所以很多事情看开一点，无所谓。
One day we will all reach that point, so just take
大
it
家要
easy,
了解，
take things lightly.
老死是不可被
Understand that you cannot avoid old
平
age
时我们
and
随缘
death.
随顺，
And then, in
很
general,
多事情
we just follow affinities, following the wishes
走
of
到这个地，
others,
走到这个
and
年
just
纪，
following our roles and duties. And do not force upon anything. Don't
走到这个年纪来，
force
有这种
it.
想法。
So once you reach this age, this is
所以我常常
my thinking recently.
生命啊，如风中，
I often said that life is like the
生命
candle,
如风中烛，
the flame of a candle in the wind.
就是浮
Wealth
云
and riches are like floating
有来
clouds.
有去，没有
They come and go and gone.
爱情，根本是
Romances
闪电打雷，
are just thunder
打
and
完了就没
lightning.
有。
With the strike,
这
it's
名
gone.
气名望，
Fame and prestige, just like blowing
再
bubbles.
过几年以后，
A few years later,
琼瑶是最有名的，
Chongyao was the most famous.
再也没有人提到她的名字。
But now nobody mentioned her name anymore.
所以我们还是学佛最重要。
That's why practicing Buddhism is the most important, so we can attain the inconceivable liberation.
不执着一切，
And we have no attachments toward anything. I have no attachment
只是在这个要走以
whatsoever.
前呢，忙过
But
来忙过去，
before leaving the world, just keep being very busy.
什么东西都要放下。
And then you have to put down and let go of everything.
好，Om Mani Padme Hum。
Om Mani Padme Hum.